Exports by the nation's big companies increased sharply from a year earlier in 2024, driven by strong demand for capital goods, particularly information technology components.
지난해 국내 대기업 수출이 자본재, 그중에서도 특히 반도체를 포함한 정보기술 부품의 수요가 늘면서 전년 대비 큰 폭으로 증가했습니다. Tell us more.
Well, exports by the country's top exporting firms increased 11.6% last year. This is according to Statistics Korea. Exports by the 10 leading exporters actually accounted for nearly 37% of the total. So that's a 3.7 percentage point increase from the previous year.
Yeah.
However, exports by medium-sized businesses actually went down. So that's mainly due to weaker overseas sales of raw materials. So the bigger companies exported a lot more. The smaller companies had a bit of a pullback.
네, 대기업의 수출 비중이 늘었고요. 중소기업의 수출 비중은 좀 줄어들기는 했지만 전반적으로 봤을 때는 이렇게 대기업이 차지하는 비중도 크고 그러다 보니까 수출이 늘었다라고 볼 수 있겠습니다. There are some terms here that we should look at. The first one is capital goods.
So think of these as physical assets that businesses use to produce their goods and services. Machinery, tools, vehicles, components that are inside. Think about, like, with Korea, it's a lot of chips, processors, semiconductors. Exactly. That's one of the big ones that Korea exports. And this is different from consumer goods because consumer goods are the final products that we buy. Phones, computers, things like that. And there's a lot of Korean semiconductors inside these things that we use every day.
그러네요. 자, consumer goods는 우리가 소비하는 그런 물건들이 되겠고, capital goods라는 건 자본재인데요. 생산 기계 아니면은 원자재 같은 그런 생산 수단을 얘기하고 있습니다. 자, component라는 단어 조금 전에도 나왔는데, what does that mean?
Simply, components means parts. A part of something. And you can, some people like to take their computers apart and change the components. I've never done that. But you can also talk about, like, for example, think of someone's diet. There's different components of a healthy diet. Protein and vegetables, these are all different components. Think about even just like this show. There's different parts of this show.
Yeah, exactly.
Different parts that make up a whole.
각각의 구성 요소를 component라고 얘기할 수 있습니다. C-O-M-P-O-N-E-N-T. 자, 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. Exports by the nation's big companies increased sharply from a year earlier in 2024, driven by strong demand for capital goods, particularly information technology components.